everyone, welcome to this year very first Poco launch event.
Gue pasang
We hope you
countdown
are
kelamaan,
excited to
udah
start the
keburu
year.
main. Yo guys, balik lagi sama gue Fendi di live streaming YouTuber Cupu. Jadi nah ya si Kevin ngomong dulu sebentar, kita opening dulu guys. Di general manajernya Poco Global. Apa kabar guys? Sesuai janji gue kemarin, gue bakal ngelakuin live streaming nih buat kalian. Poco Global Launch, gue buru-buru aja ya sebut nama kalian nih. Ada siapa aja di sini? Oke, Dalan Kiss Official, Noob Gaming, ada Dance, ada Raffi, ada Hafid, ada Rizky, ada Jovan, ada Capik, ada Rifan, ada Pes, ada Rizky Maulana lagi, ada Pop, ada Rizky XD, ada Dwi Wahyu, ada Capik, Alan Budi, Bayu, Eru, Zaki, Iwan, Razik, Ican, Rizky, Cacat, Nga, Capik, Fatih, Empat Mas, Rizky, Jim Iqbal, Samuel Gondo, halo, MF Channel, Gavin, Davin GG, Muhammad Rashid Ridho, PS, Bayu, Van de Q, Iwan Irwandi, halo Iwan. Game On, Alquenzi, AKA Generation Musik, Jarod, Davin, I Lucifer, Rifki, Jovan lagi, MF Channel lagi, Eru, Muhammad Arizal, Afifi, Capik. Udah semua nih. Joyo, Bomkom, AKA Satria Official, Anggi, Muhammad Hari Cherry, Egi, halo Egi, Zian, Lucifer, Rangga, IG, halo semua, Abdur, cek, Calu, halo Brian Wen, Reski Ramadan, Christian Winata, terus ada Danar, ada Ahmad, Calu, Muas, Riwan. Oke, udah ya, kita lanjut dengerin ke ininya aja. BTW suaranya kedengeran gak guys? Suaranya dia nih. Butuh gue gedein gak?
Now, what's really contributed last year's success was actually a particularly series, the X series, has shipped more than 11 million units.
Dah, belum?
And there is one model that has really stood out from
Wah, halo, ada Panhan Stack. Waduh, temen gue jauh nih dari Malaysia. Halo.
with other features that really seems crazy for a device that came in at a retail price of 249 euros. And Poco X3 Pro alone has
Suaranya udah
shipped
belum
more
guys?
than
Coba
8
kasih tahu gua.
million units globally.
Udah
making
nggak
it our
mute.
best seller of all time.
Nggak, suaranya
Within
dulu
all
nih.
of our
Kalau
models,
suaranya udah oke,
this even
baru gue
beat
gedein.
our legendary,
Udah pas ya?
the first smartphone, Poco F1. It was crowned #1 mid-range.
Udah ya,
of
oke,
GSM
thank you yang
Arena
udah kasih tahu.
2021 smartphone list. It was an honorable mention as one of the best budget smartphone of 2021 by Mr. Hoster Bose. And huge tech media such as Angel Center
Ini
and
lagi ceritain tentang Poco X3 Pro nih.
such as a new standard for performance.
Betul,
in
ini
the budget
adalah
segment,
Bro
a hit
Kevin
among
Q ya.
gamers. It really was a device
Kayaknya
that
lumayan
was loved by the fans,
disukai bagi
and
fans,
the team.
media, sama tim
And we
Poco
look at
X3 Pro
why
nih
it
guys.
was
Kayaknya
loved.
sukses besar. Kalian setuju nggak nih?
By featuring
Karena di sini
a
dia
Snapdragon
bilang
860,
X3 Pro ini
the
4G
affordable
performance
round
fokus,
performer.
ada baterainya
Fans
oke,
and
display
user
oke, performance,
loved it.
kamera,
It was
experience-nya juga
performance
mantep
focused
katanya.
phone, more performance rather than all-rounder, which means there's plenty of room to improve.
Suara gue kegedean ya?
And make it an even stronger all-round device.
Masih nggak?
In 2022, in our X series, we plan to become an even better all-round device. Not only narrowing down the performance aspect of the smartphone, but the
Dia mau
battery,
lebih
display,
melebarkan
camera,
lagi tuh,
and
meng-expand
overall experience.
dari experience yang ada di sini.
Following up an already very successful smartphone, we plan to
Kuncinya
give
nih,
you a
kunci-kuncinya ada di
successor,
display Ace. Ace itu kayak kartu as loh
our
guys.
latest, the Poco
Nah,
X4
ini dia
Pro
X4 Pro
5G.
5G.
It's a smartphone we are super excited about. We like to call it the all-around ace. Let's dive into the detail and say what the X4 Pro 5G has offered. Let's invite Angus on stage. Thank you.
Masih kekecilan.
Thank you, Kevin. And hello, everyone.
Cik.
We're back. Very exciting stuff
Oh,
this year. And we
ini
kick it off with the
familiar
X4
nih.
Pro 5G.
Angus.
Let's get on with it. I'd like to start off with design. For me, I always thought the X series had some pretty cool design. Ever since we launched our first
thank you nih
X3
Afdal nih,
NFC
katanya jangan
in
lupa di-like dulu
2020,
guys.
we
Video
had a
ini.
unique standout design with our racing stripe down the middle of the phone. It was a
Ayo guys,
stunning
ada 200
with the
yang
combination
nonton. Bantuin gua
of
like
cool
yuk.
colors we had for these phones, such as
Oke,
Phantom
thank you
Black
Distira
and
Official
Cobalt
udah
Blue.
kasih tahu aman soundnya.
Let's take a glimpse of what the X4 Pro 5G looks like.
Coba kita lihat.
Pretty awesome design, right? Let's start with
Udah
laser
jadi
black,
kayak
our
ciri khas
first
gitu
color
ya,
for the X4 Pro
Poco-nya itu
5G.
pasti kayak
As you
imposter
can see,
gitu,
it's
kayak
got
mata
lines of light
Robocop
across
gitu.
the body design, kind of like a laser shooting up, which is exactly why we
Ah,
named it
serius nih ada
laser black.
garis-garisnya kayak
In
begitu.
certain angles, it can really give off an
Serius
effect
nih,
of light
keren
shooting up
amat.
into the night sky. And it's not so much different with our blue variant. It's got the same
Wah, ini
unique laser lighting
mah
effect along with
Miui, coy.
vibrant looking blue,
Sama kayak
which is always a great
di
choice for those who want a young
Redmi
and
Note
bold
11
look.
Pro 5G kan,
And we
ada
got a new
kayak
color for you in
efek-efek.
the X series. For the
Mana tuh
first
HP
time
gua?
ever, introducing Poco Yellow. Now, Poco Yellow, as a color within our devices, isn't that
Ih,
crazy anymore,
semuanya ada
as
garis-garis
we've been
gitu
exploring
coy.
this color with
Gile.
our M series ever since 2020. However, after a year and a half of seeing how well they were received, we wanted to bring
Ya
this
demen
color
gak demen mah,
onto our hottest selling series.
selera masing-masing lah ya.
So with the Poco X4
Tapi
Pro
ini dia
5G, we have 3 stunning colors.
bentuknya yang
With
ini
Poco
yang
Yellow
kotak
being
gitu
the
ya.
newest addition
Flat
color
edge.
into this family. Which one is your top choice? I gotta say, I think I'm falling in love with Poco Yellow in the X series. But color isn't the only thing we have improved or made changes in the latest model. In order to achieve this
Masa
lighting
kalian lihat
effect,
ini gak keren
one
sih guys tuh,
crucial
bisa
element is to
bergerak-bergerak
actually
gini.
change the material of the
Ini
back
sih gue demen
panel.
banget loh serius.
For the first time ever as well,
Cuma gak tahu deh
we
yang
have
ini
put a
bisa
glass body
bergerak-bergerak kayak gitu
onto our
gak?
X series, which gives our users a premium and sturdy hand feel experience. By making it a glass body, we were also able to make it our thinnest X series smartphone yet. Only comes in at 8.12 millimeter slim. This will help shave off some weight and also increase the hand feel
Kemungkinan
experience.
besar sih emang
It's a
rebrand
huge
sih
part of the
guys, kalau
design
gue lihat
experience, and
sekilas
we
sampai
aim to
sekarang
improve at
ya.
it continuously. So when we take a look at a comparison between X3 Pro and X4 Pro, we maintain the 3 cool color design
maaf
that
ya.
is stunning, unique, and bold. We improved on its
Gua
weight,
kecilin dulu
thickness,
dikit.
and texture by decreasing the thickness from 9.4 millimeter to 8.12 millimeter, which is a lot in smartphone measurements, from a plastic back panel to a glass body, and then achieving it to be 10 grams lighter. It's an improvement all around. Now, we have talked
Dia
about the
bilang
back and made some
improvementnya itu
comparisons.
10
Let's
gram
look at the front.
lebih ringan ya.
Ace display for the X4 Pro.
Sekarang
It's a
ngomongin
very important
layar.
part. Let's take a look at the X3 Pro's display. When this
Kalau
was
udah
launched
angka-angka
in
gini mah
March
gue
2021,
nggak usah
for a
translate lah ya,
device that was
kalian
priced
tahu
under
pasti.
250 euros, it had outstanding specs such as 120 hertz refresh rate, 240 hertz touch sampling rate, and of course,
Patria udah
all
bilang
that on a
menunggu
big
X4
screen.
GT.
It really was a great screen at the time. But it wasn't perfect, and there was always room for improvement. And I believe one of the biggest upgrades people has been looking for on the X3 Pro or the X3 NFC is this display material. It was an LCD display.
Ntar diganti
And
pasti.
after seeing a lot of comments from users and fans,
Yeay.
you guys really wanted one thing in display. And today, it's here. Featuring on the X4 Pro 5G, AMOLED display. A spec most wanted by our fans ever since Poco X3 NFC. And this is the
Lebay
first
nggak sih
time
gua?
we're featuring AMOLED for X series.
Habis kalian gak ada yang
Now, one
teriak
of the
sih guys.
major
Di sini gue
upgrades of
sepi
having
guys.
AMOLED instead of LCD, it's its brightness. With AMOLED technology, we were able to get great contrast ratio of 4.5 million to 1, 1200 nits on peak brightness, which is super bright, and a high brightness level of 700 nits. So we make sure colors and brightness is aced. And then of course, AMOLED with the Poco X4 Pro 5G, we also support DCI-P3 wide color gamut, which brings accurate coloring to our users' viewing experience.
Mungkin informasi tambahan.
So with these specifications behind our
AMOLED,
AMOLED
walaupun
display,
dia AMOLED,
you're
tapi
certainly going to get a great
always on
viewing experience
display-nya
when it
masih
comes to
10
viewing
detik.
clearly
Setahu
and with
gua.
accurate colors.
Kalau berkaca sama
So to give you guys a brief
Redmi Note
explanation
11
and benefit of what
Pro
AMOLED
5G
can
ya.
offer, it can actually offer a better eye care experience, real black on the screen, give you a clear view, and it actually slims down the design, like we mentioned earlier, on how the X4 Pro 5G is thinner than ever. But besides AMOLED, we still maintain being a fast screen. We're one of the first smartphones to put 120 Hz refresh rate in an affordable range. And we plan to do the same this year, to be one of the few devices to offer 120 Hz and AMOLED together in the mid-range segment.
C. Ini ala-ala metaverse kayaknya. Bukan benar. Guys, bantuin gua yang belum like video ini, like stream ini, bantuin like yuk. Biar rame. Win.
We increased our touch sampling rate to a flagship level 360 Hz.
Touch samplingnya
Now,
naik
this
ya,
allows
yang
our
sebelumnya
gamers
240
to
sekarang
really
jadi
ace their game
360 nih.
and support their fast reaction time. So when you add in 120 Hz refresh rate and 360 Hz touch sampling rate, the speed of the screen is incredible. We have improved and still maintained a flagship level display in the mid-range segment. And all of that awesome speed features will stay maintained on a massive 6.67-inch screen, which is perfect for video watching, gaming, or
Layarnya masih
scrolling and browsing on the web.
6.67 inch dot
For those big
display.
screen lovers, this is a sweet size. But not only the X4 Pro screen is
Terus
fast,
ada banyak lagi
clear,
tuh.
and
Kalian
bright,
baca sendiri.
we make
Reading
sure we
mode,
can protect our
3.0,
users' eyes while
sunlight,
using the phone. With SGS
display.
Eye Care certification, software functions such as Reading Mode 3.0 and Sunlight Display, we make sure you can enjoy the best viewing experience without straining your eyes. So when we said Ace Display, we really make sure we lived up to our fans' expectations. Starting with X3 Pro's fast screen that everyone loved, we upgraded to AMOLED, which is something I know many fans and users have been waiting for. This is our X4 Pro's Ace Display.
Aduh, ini kok ada yang nyepam sih ini.
Now, besides having a great display and design for our X4 Pro, we do have an Ace camera as well.
Palah,
Ace
Palah,
camera
Al,
on Poco.
lu nyepam
Pretty fresh
lagi
concept for you guys,
gua
probably.
tendang loh.
For the first time, we're
Iya
featuring
udah, gua tahu lu
108
kecewa ya. Udah,
megapixel on
nggak
the
usah
X4 Pro
banyak-banyak
5G
ngomongnya.
with 108 megapixel.
Lu mau demo,
You
jangan
can ace
demo
your
ke
content.
gua, demonya
Take
ke
super clear
Poco.
shots.
Jangan ke
Really
sini,
up
woy.
your photography game.
Lu sekali lagi lu
And
ngepem
most
gua
importantly, this is
tendang
our
lo.
first 108 megapixel among our Poco
Oke,
smartphones.
1,
Not just X series,
2.
but among the whole line of products. And in case you didn't
Enak
know,
nih, nyepam nih.
108
Satu lagi
megapixel
nih.
means 108 million pixels.
Just
Just think
udah nggak
about
ada.
that for a second. That's a lot
Oke,
of pixels.
bagus. Sekali
All of
lagi.
that in a
Bye-bye.
smartphone.
Sorry lah ya.
And in this 108 megapixel camera, we have a large sensor to ensure the photo quality is clear, to let you experience large resolution HD photos on another
Halo,
level.
no have name.
Let's take a look at a sample shot. Now, we took this awesome looking architecture building shot and the clarity off the charts. But what makes 108 megapixel even more special is the ability to really zoom in after you've taken the shot and see the details.
Tenang, aman
In this
udah.
case, your focus may be on the
Udah
big
fokus nih ke
architecture
ininya
building.
guys.
But behind, when you zoom in,
108 megapiksel
far
main
beyond
kamera.
the past,
Kamera
you can
utamanya.
see the architectural crane in the background. This makes 108 megapixels super fun. And when you want to just take a snap with your friends, no one is ever left out when it comes to clarity and focus. Our model in the back is still captured very clearly. Her facial
Ini ya
details and
kekuatannya
details of her
108
hair are
megapiksel. Jadi
captured
kalau
clear.
kalian mau
This is the
zoom
power of
in,
108 megapixel.
masih lumayan
Now,
dapat nih
besides having
gambarnya, lebih
108
detailnya
megapixel
masih
as a
ada.
flagship feature, we also have 9-in-1 binning technology. These technology work together to combine 9 different small pixels into one large super pixel, capturing more light for improved clarity, even in low light conditions. So this will help when you actually turn on
Gua mau
HDR
cari duit
on
nih
and
guys,
off.
siapa tahu
And
kalian
you
ada
can see
yang
the
mau
clear
nyawer.
difference in brightness and how it adjusts the
Gua
contrast.
kasih linknya ya
It's
guys.
very obvious, and I would recommend our users
Nanti
to
hasil
have HDR
donasinya
on
kita
for any
buat
scenic
ini
shots.
guys.
It
Happy
really improves the
lagi.
experience. But besides 108 megapixel on the X4 Pro, we also have an ultra-wide angle camera and a macro camera. Let's take a look at sample shots from those lenses. Now here's a shot from the ultra-wide sensor. It's perfect for cityscapes. With 118-degree sensor capturing an incredible amount of color, shadow, and detail. But most importantly,
Ayo donasi,
you can see
donasi.
there's no distortion around the corners
Kalau yang nggak bisa
or the
donasi
actual
nggak apa-apa.
buildings,
Yang penting
which is
bantuin gua
usually
like
the
video ini
problem
ya.
for
Oke,
some of
oke.
the ultra-wide modes on other smartphones. And then there's my personal favorite, the macro mode. Look at this effect. The way it captures the warm light.
Minum
For
dulu
those
gua.
who are guessing what this object is, it's a light bulb. You get incredible results that comes from a common object that you can just find in your home.
Makro guys.
Can really power up your creativity. Then we have the front camera. We all like to take a selfie from time to time. And you can see it can capture colors, shadows, and our models' faces very clearly. Of course,
Tapi sebenarnya ya kalau
besides all
makronya
the photo
cahayanya
content, we
cukup,
also feature
sebenarnya
a ton of
lumayan
video
juga
modes
sih.
on the X4 Pro 5G.
Kecuali kalau emang cahayanya
Now, we have
pas-pasan
mentioned
tuh
lots
agak
of these video
agak
functions
ini
before,
sih
and it's
gambarnya.
still
Karena kadang bisa
available on
berubah
the X4
warnanya.
Pro. We've got cool modes such as kaleidoscope, dual video, super macro mode, and a feature called movie filters that I fall in love with when I go on vacation. I highly recommend our users try all these out. It's
Oh,
a
ada dual
blast.
video,
They make out for
ada
great
slow
social media
motion, ada long
content.
exposure,
And
ada
we actually
time
made a
lapse,
video
ada
with
movie
some of the
filter,
features all mixed
super
in one.
makro, sama
Let's check it out.
kaleidoscope. Slow motion. Ultra wide. Lumayan lah garis-garisnya itu
So to
lumayan
sum
oke
up,
kali
our
itu
Poco
kayaknya.
X4 Pro's camera,
Agak
it
beda dari
really
yang
is
lain.
our ace
Kayaknya
camera.
belum ada deh HP-HP
First
yang kayak
time
begitu.
to have 108 megapixel on a Poco smartphone, which allows you to take super
Nanti
clear
bilang,
photos,
tapi sekali dipakai
118
case
degree
kan nggak
ultra-wide
kelihatan
camera
bang.
to help you
Belum
capture even
tentu.
more.
Lu kalau pakai case-nya
And of course,
transparan yang
a
dikasih
macro
Xiaomi
mode for
gratis
those
gimana?
artistic shots,
Kan masih kelihatan.
along with video functions that help you ace your content on social media platforms. Now you may be wondering, with such a powerful camera, a powerful display, how's the battery life? We've always felt confident in battery.
Goceng ya
Ace
kalau nggak salah
battery in
baterainya
the
deh.
Poco X4 Pro 5G. Now, for ace level battery, it's quite simple in a way. You need a big battery, but also fast charging. When it comes to big battery, we still have a 5,000 milliamp battery. Now remember, we were able to keep a massive battery in our thinnest X series smartphone. For this battery, it still supports up to 2 days of usage once fully charged, which is super handy for those who often don't carry power banks all the time with them. But when you do need to charge up, we got you covered. For our X4 Pro 5G, we support 67-watt turbo charging. This is the second time we've put 67-watt turbocharging onto our X series. It's incredibly fast. And when you put these two elements together, 5,000 milliamp battery and 67
Gila
watt
ya, udah
turbocharging
badak
is the
baterainya.
perfect battery and charging
Dikasih charging
combination.
67 watt.
Let me break it down for you. For example, in a time of a coffee break, you can charge your phone up to 30%. In a time of an anime episode,
Tuh dia
which
kasih tahu
I
8
watch
menit
too often myself,
30%, 22
you would
menit
be charged up to
70%,
70%.
ke
And if you're
90%
charging
31
while
menit.
having a 30 minutes quick lunch, it can charge up to 90%. And before you even know it, with the combination of 5,000 milliamp battery, 67 watt turbocharging, you can charge up to 100% in just 41 minutes. 41 minutes.
Guys, ini yang belum like
41
videonya
minutes
di like
and
dong
you get
ya.
a
Iya,
whole day of
gampang kok.
usage.
Yo, bantuin gua like yuk.
At full charge, you'll be able to get so many hours of entertainment, 15 hours of video playback, more than 24 hours of recording, 27 hours of a phone call, and hundreds of hours of music playback. It's incredible. And of course,
Nggak apa-apa, nggak bisa
we'll be
donasi
pairing
nggak
a
apa-apa. Tapi
67 watt
paling yang
charger
gratis
in
gratis
box.
aja bantuin gua like
Super
video
handy
ini ya.
for your travels, so you don't need to bring multiple chargers. Just one to charge all your devices. Your laptop, gaming consoles,
Terus dia bilang
earphones,
67 watt
tablets.
charger ini sebenarnya lu bisa
Oh,
pakai di macem-macem nih
handy.
kayak laptop, wireless earbuds, tuh
performance.
kayak gitu.
Ace
Jadi nggak
performance.
usah bawa banyak
We all know
chargeran.
X3
67
Pro
watt juga
had
udah
great
lumayan gede tuh.
performance, but there's still room to improve. First, we're going from a 4G chipset to a 5G chipset, and we will be using 2022's latest 600 series processor by Snapdragon. Introducing the Snapdragon 695. Now, we're one of the first models in the market to use such a new powerful processor by Snapdragon. It's got a couple of great highlights, and I want to highlight two things. First, it's its flagship level 6
Gua nggak
nanometer
peduli
process.
kalian bilang ya
As a fresh
695
processor in the
atau
market,
yes 695,
actually
yang
also
penting
features ARM Cortex A78 as its big core. Now, this structure delivers powerful performance with still one of the industry-leading power efficiency. To see such advanced technology trickle down to the mid-range chipset, it's a great strive in the mobile chipset space. Now, for those who may be wondering,
ini gue jadi
600
penasaran nih,
series?
pengen gue bikin
Isn't that
tawuran
entry
chipset
level?
695 nih. Kayak
Before you
banyak
jump to
yang
that
kecewa,
conclusion,
emang
let
separah
me tell
itu
you,
kah?
it's just a name. And
695
mid-range chipset
lumayan
has
loh,
come
ini
so
ingat loh,
far
ini
in the
mid
recent
range
year.
loh, kalian jangan harap buat
If you take
flagship
the
gitu ya.
Snapdragon 695 and do a comparison in Antutu, you'll find it outperforming popular 700 series chipset such as the 765G and the 750G. Like I said, don't read too much into the naming. And for those who want to see an FPS test, we also ran the Poco X4 Pro on a gaming
Aduh, gue
test
jarang main Wild
using
Rift
League of
nih.
Legends Wild Rift, which
Harusnya
is a very
Genshin
popular
Impact
mobile game right
benchmarknya,
now,
coba.
which is a game I've been playing a lot as well, setting the graphics to high and playing it
Kemarin
straight for
Genshin
1
Impact
hour.
tes gue dapat berapa
As you can
ya?
see, the average FPS
gua
was
Genshin
very
Impact.
stable. And we were able to hit an average of 59 FPS out of 60. That's quite impressive. So the upgrade is clear when it comes to why we have decided to feature the Snapdragon 695 in the Poco X4
Tapi
5
seingat gue
X4
kalau
Pro
nggak salah
5G.
tuh
First,
chipsetnya nggak
we went 4G
bikin
to
panas.
5G,
Si
a better
695
process
waktu kemarin
from
gue
7
nge-game
nanometer to 6 nanometer.
sama
And
HP ini nih.
lastly, it's one of
Terus
the latest
baterainya juga
chipset released by
lumayan oke
Snapdragon.
kok.
Now, to pair with this process, we also have flagship level RAM and ROM options, with RAM optional up to 8 GB and ROM up to 256 GB. Of course, we didn't forget the beloved expandable storage of 1 TB. Now, during my last launch event, I introduced dynamic RAM expansion technology that is supported by our software, which means for the X4 Pro 5G, you can now have 8 GB of RAM for the low variant and 11 GB of RAM for the high variant. This puts its RAM
Bisa nambah
technology
2 GB
along those
sama ada yang
super
nambah 3
flagships,
GB.
and you get
Tergantung
great
varian yang
multitasking
kalian beli nih
performance.
untuk RAM expansion.
So this is our X4 Pro's 5G performance. Starting with 5G network that is featured on a newly launched SoC that I cannot wait for our users to try out,
95.
and maintaining that flagship RAM and ROM setup. This is ace-level performance. Now let's move on to experience. We talked through most of the hardware, but let's introduce Miui 13 for Poco. I know software is a huge part where our users care about, and we've made some optimizations. There's a total of 4 main parts I want to run through today that has been optimized and improved. its
Ini
liquid
MIUI
storage,
13 di Poco nih.
atomized memory, focus processing, and smart power balance. First, let's talk about liquid storage, a new way to manage the way our files are stored. With liquid storage, we have made sure after a long period of time usage, your write speed and read speed will maintain at a high level. Unlike some other Android OS, for the first few months as a fresh device, the phone is pretty quick, but it gradually slows down
Ini dia
throughout
katanya
time,
punya
and it's
fitur
because the way
liquid
it's stored
storage.
for the write
Intinya
files.
setelah
With MIUI
pemakaian
13 for
lama,
Poco, we have
speed
optimized that issue.
read sama write-nya itu nggak turun
And for atomized
drastis,
memory,
lebih baik
we have
katanya
increased 40%
dengan
on
MIUI
background
13
process
ini.
efficiency. So multitasking comes
Terus
at a breeze.
memorinya
And to
atomized.
support that, we also
Mantap.
have to prioritize the performance in what's active on your screen right now. That's why we introduced focus processing. With MIUI's new focus processing algorithm, it prioritizes the active app above all others. This helps not only save the processing speed, but also save more battery for you. And of course, without new calculated
Intinya tadi
algorithm
yang
for battery,
priority
smart power
processing itu
balance
dia
can
lebih
get your
fokus
battery
ke
life increased by
aplikasi yang
10%.
aktif ya. Jadi yang
Now,
di
it's not a big
belakang-belakangnya itu
number, but it's still pretty
dicuekin
great when
dulu
it
lah
comes to saving
intinya.
battery.
Jadi secara
Every
nggak
single
langsung yang
percentage
dicuek-cuekin
counts.
itu juga jadi bikin baterai lebih hemat
And
sih.
it comes
Jadi
to the
kita
hardware
cuma fokus
experience
sama
side.
yang
We
aplikasi yang
also
aktif
have kept
doang.
the dual speaker setup across all of our X series
Dual
devices.
speaker.
It's no different for our X4 Pro 5G. This will give you an immersive sound experience that's great for gaming or video watching, or simply just playing the music. You can act it like a speaker. And lastly, we can't forget the daily functions. The legendary features such as IR Blaster
NFC,
for you to
IR
easily
Blaster,
control your
headphone jack,
home electronics.
IRS
NFC
audio,
that helps you make wireless payments when you need it. And headphone jack with high-res audio certified, which comes handy when you're chasing after that high sound quality, or as a backup when your wireless earphones run out of battery. This is our X4 Pro 5G. With so many features that we've gone through, we believe it have brought the X series to
gue
new
ilangin dulu
highs.
ya muka gue ya.
It really is the new ace for us within our X series,
108
and it definitely lives up
makro,
to its new title, the all-around ace,
118
with a newly
ultra wide
improved
derajat
screen
mak
and
ultra
camera
wide
module,
kamera,
supported by a strong
Snapdragon
5G
695
chipset,
dual speaker,
providing a
Z-axis,
complete all-around
AMOLED
experience.
120 Hz,
Let's take a look at an
360,
intro
charging
video.
67 watt, 5000 mAh baterai. Ini kenapa lampunya begitu ya? Di sebelah gitu. Coba guys, pertanyaan gua, kenapa itu lampu motornya ada gede sebelah kayak begitu guys?
Moving on to price. Now I'm sure many of
Apakah
you
mencerminkan
are itching
kameranya
to know
Poco yang
what
gede
this is.
sebelah? Enggak
But as
juga.
always, let's do a comparison. Now, if we take a look at some of the popular mid-rangers in the market
ngomong
between
harga nih.
2021 and 2022, we usually take a strong strive in performance. However, this year, it's an all-around upgrade. We outperform our competitors in screen, battery, and camera. As far as right now, their price is roughly around 400 euros to 450 euros. Let's see ours. For the Poco X4 Pro 5G, our base variant of 6GB plus 128GB option, we have an amazing price of 299 euros. Now that is truly acing the value.
Nggak ada
But as
suara
tradition
ini ya,
goes,
geledek
you know we're not
ala-ala
done yet.
Poco Alfinse ya.
We have an early bird
Tuh.
price of 269 euros. An
Nggak
absolute
ada suara
deal.
geledeknya.
If you guys think about all the spec for just 269 euros, it's already quite shocking. But we still have the higher variant. We're not done yet. For the 8GB plus 256GB high variant option, we have a price of 349 euros. flagship level RAM and ROM with all those specs packed into this ace. Of course, early bird, right? Let's check it out. 319 euros. Just a little bit over 300 euros, you're getting AMOLED upgrade, 108 megapixel camera, 5G
Kalau gua
chipset,
nggak salah
and the
hitung
list just goes on.
4,3
So we come back to this
sama
chart
5,
and see the comparison of the
5,1.
price. Not
Gua salah
only we
ngitung nggak?
outperform in spec, we also outperform our competitors' pricing by at least 100 euros to 150 euros just with our original price. And with the early bird pricing, it's even more crazy. So I'm confident our fans and users right now cannot wait to get their hands on this awesome device. And here are the channels that will be available on March 2nd. Make sure you don't miss out. Now remember, we do have an
yang
early bird
Indonesia
price, so
belum.
check
Dan
out with
harganya
your local
mungkin
region
bisa berubah
platforms to
saat
make
udah
sure it's
di
available.
Indonesia nanti.
Of course,
Jadi jangan
we
sedih
do have
dulu
more platforms
kawan.
coming. Now for these platforms, you can follow your regional Poco social media accounts to find out their opening sale date. Make sure to tune in. I wouldn't want you guys to miss out on this phone with this insane pricing. So here it is in summary, the Poco X4 Pro 5G, the all-around ace. Simple, 120 Hz AMOLED dot display, 108 megapixel triple camera setup, latest 5G Snapdragon 695 processor with a 5,000 milliamp battery that comes with 67 watt charging. And those are just the core specs.
67. Baterainya sih
amazing
oke
phone.
lah. Kameranya,
Now, usually, I would say that's all
harganya
for
sih.
today.
Cuma kita
But
lihatnya
actually,
aja ya, yang
next
tunggu pas
up,
di Indonesia
We have M
keluar
series.
berapa duit.
Introducing Poco M4 Pro, our latest 2022 model for our M series. Now, last time with our M4 Pro
Bukannya
5G,
Poco
it was
M4
all
Pro
about
itu udah
powering
lama
up your
keluar
phone.
ya, kenapa dia baru
Today,
launching lagi
with our
sekarang?
new
Kayaknya gue udah
M4
pernah
Pro,
bikin deh
we're
videonya.
here
Iya nggak sih?
to
Lupa
maximize
gue.
your fun.
Saking banyaknya
is a key word for our M
review HP
series.
Xiaomi Poco
Fun in a
Redmi,
smartphone these days
astaga.
would usually mean social media, online shopping, photography, some casual gaming. You do everything on your smartphone. Today, our M4 Pro is going to take fun to a higher level than before. And just like the X series, let's start with display early on. Oh yes, for the very first time in N series as well, we're super excited to announce the Poco M4 Pro will be featuring
AMOLED.
a AMOLED display as well. Now, I always thought people might expect
Katanya
this
untuk
to come to
pertama
X
kalinya
series
di
this
M
year,
series
but
Poco
I bet you guys
M4
didn't see it coming
ini
for M series today.
punya AMOLED guys.
With our M4 Pro's AMOLED display,
1000
it
nits.
supports up to 1000 nits at peak brightness and a contrast ratio of 4.5
Lumayan
million to
terang
1.
sih 1000.
So no matter what you're doing on your smartphone under the bright sun or at night, we got you covered with brightness. And of course, we have to make sure we have DCI-P3 so then we can offer a true color experience for our users. And when it comes to resolution and PPI, the new Poco M4 Pro is no
Hilang
slouch
dikit nih
either,
layarnya,
supporting
6,43
409
inch.
PPI on a 6.43-inch device. And of course, being bright, colorful, we kept our screen fast. Ever
Refresh
since
rate
the Poco
60,
M3 Pro 5G,
90 Hz.
we kept the 90 Hz refresh rate. For some users and fans out there, 90 Hz is a sweet spot for refresh rate. It offers smooth scrolling and game experience, and it doesn't drain the battery as much as 120 Hz. So when we combine all the upgrades, starting with AMOLED, we've taken M series display tech to a new high as well. With the combo of
Gelamin
90
gua dulu
Hz
guys, sebentar guys.
and AMOLED, I'm certain our users will get a great viewing experience. Now we talked about the display.
I'm back.
Let's talk about the back. M series design has always been eye-catching. And we start off with Power Black, a classy, simple, elegant black that makes a statement for premium look and feel.
Desainnya beda
And
ya.
of course, if you know we're naming this Power Black, you can
Yang
imagine
gua
what comes
review
next.
kemarin itu apa sih?
Cool blue.
Gue jadi lupa ya.
One of the most underrated colors, in my opinion. It's got such a young, vibrant feel to it, and in real life, it looks better than the photos. At least that's what I think. And lastly, the M series famous color, the Poco Yellow. It's been over a year since
Oh
we've launched
ini
Poco
yang
Yellow.
kotaknya agak
Until this
melengkung
day,
dikit.
I'm
Jadi
still stunned
mungkin ya
at how
kalau gue
good a
nggak
yellow phone
salah.
looks.
Poco
And I'm sure with this
M4
color
ini
variant,
yang M4
a lot of fans
ini
are going to be falling in love with
rebrand
this.
dari Redmi
So
Note
here are the three
11
colors for
sama
our M4 Pro.
11S nih.
It's the
Dia
same
agak
three
melengkung
colors
dikit
we've launched in
belakangnya.
previous devices,
Agak
but
ngegelembung
upgraded
dikit.
with a new
Nah
stunning design.
yang 11 Pro
Now, I did
5G
say
ini baru jadi
maximize
Poco
design.
ini tadi yang
Doesn't mean it's
sebelumnya.
big. It actually means a better design experience. And let me explain how. Just like the Poco X4 Pro 5G, our M4 Pro only sits at 8.09
Masih ada
millimeter
nggak
thin,
HP-nya ya?
making this our slimmest M-series smartphone to date, which offers great hand feel.
Guys.
And to make it even better, the Poco M4 Pro is only 179.5 grams in weight. Now, which makes it not only the lightest smartphone in M-series, but the lightest Poco smartphone to be released so far. Now, in such a light and thin phone, it comes with a 5,000 milliamp battery that can last for 2 days of usage, just like our X4 Pro 5G. Battery will never be compromised at Poco, even with a thin design. And like its M4 Pro 5G sibling, we also support
Iya,
33
benar. Ini
watt
mah
Pro
Redmi
fast
Note 11,
charging,
kalau nggak 11S
which can charge
nih,
up the
antara
phone
dua
up
ini.
to 100% in just 61 minutes. That's pretty fast. And of course, we will be including a 33 watt fast charger in box along as well. And to make sure it can charge fast and not heat up during the charging process, we have included liquid cool technology 1.0 Plus. Now, this allows the phone to disperse the heat coming from the charging heat spots, a very underrated function. And now, we got camera, also a very key area for our M-series users. Let's see how the M4 Pro maxed up here. Not long ago, we featured 50 megapixel for the first time in M-series, and today, we're featuring a
AI-nya tuh,
64 megapixel camera module in the M4 Pro, giving our fans and users flagship-level megapixels. Let's take a look at a sample shot, and we took this on an M4 Pro with 2 of our models. We purposely put them in an environment where there isn't a huge amount of light overall, but the result was still stunning. You can see the facial details and how accurate focused the model's faces are. Now, the Poco M4 Pro is a triple camera setup, with this main lens being 64 megapixel and the 2 other cameras being 118-degree ultra-wide and a macro camera. We can take a look at sample shots for those as well.
Benar nggak?
With ultra-wide
Makronya
camera,
2 megapiksel.
you can easily capture cool shots like this,
Terus
where it can not only
ya,
capture you in the
ultrawide-nya
photo, in this
118
case, the
derajat.
model clearly, but also capture
sih.
more background to
Kebanyakan
set the
kayak
whole
begini,
scene,
ultrawide-nya.
making it a great social media post. Then we have macro mode. And I gotta say, this might be my favorite picture out of all of them. Up close, it looks like a huge rope, but actually,
Iya sih,
this is a
keren.
yellow charging cable. That's pretty crazy, right? To be able to get
Pasti
so
susah
close
bikin
and you actually have to
foto keren
question, what could it be? That's the joy macro mode can bring for you. And for our portrait mode, which is almost essential for social media posts these days, the Poco M4 Pro captures clearly, no matter the environment is during the day or during the nighttime.
Afan ada bilang, kayaknya nggak
And
5G deh
lastly,
ini.
we do have
Iya,
our front
setahu gua
camera.
harusnya nggak sih.
In this photo, you can see with so many lights in the background, you would think it'll blur out the model's face.
Cuma 5G
But
juga
instead,
sebenarnya
it captured
dibilang
her perfectly.
penting-penting
You
banget,
can even
masih
see the
belum
scratches
terlalu ya
on the
guys.
metal bars in the background
Menurut
because
gua
no
loh.
details gets missed. This is the Poco M4 Pro's camera, featuring a 64 megapixel flagship camera that can really maximize your social media space, or simply just to create great memories. Make sure to try it out. I'm sure our fans can have a lot of creative shots with this camera. It can really power up your creativity. Now, experience. Now, I just spoke about how important experience is for all of our smartphone. And powering all the features I just mentioned about, we have the MediaTek Helio G96,
Prosesor maksudnya.
which is a very mature processor. This processor can offer amazing performance that allows you to maximize your daily fun activities no matter what you're doing. Taking sharp and clear photos,
pernah.
watching HD video, or some casual
Pernah
gaming.
bandingin guys,
It can handle with
ketiga
ease.
chipset ini.
But not only we put in
Kalian
such a
nonton
great
deh video gua
processor,
deh.
for the first time in M series,
Kan gua lupa
we've
video yang
incorporated
mana.
the 8GB RAM option onto the M4 Pro. Bring RAM technology to new heights in the M series as well. Of course, it will also support dynamic RAM technology, which allows you on the low variant to get 8GB of RAM
Belum
and
5G deh seingat
11GB
gua.
on the high variant, just like our X4
Yang
Pro 5G.
ini, ya ini belum
This
5G
is
kok.
super worth it, especially in the mid-range segment. But not only we upgraded the RAM, we also put 256GB ROM option for the very first time in M
Udah,
series,
kalau pada kecewa
making
ya,
this
kalian beli
a
iPhone
truly
aja
flagship
udah.
ROM and RAM setup. Don't worry, we still
Lupa,
have
nanti lihat
expandable storage
harganya
available
kecewa
on the
lagi
M4 Pro
iPhone
as well,
kemahalan.
up to 1 terabyte of expandable storage. So you have the option to store a ton of movies, songs, images, or just files. And to make sure you have the best immersive experience paired with our AMOLED display, we also fitted dual speakers for the M4 Pro, which is starting to become a standard, even for mid-range phones. And lastly, our daily convenience features that is always beloved in M series. With features like FM radio, headphone jack, and IR blaster, it is here to make sure you can enjoy these small handy
bang
features.
gengsinya.
Always.
Iya, kalau lu ada duitnya. Kalau nggak
So
ada
to
mau
sum everything
gimana lu?
up, the Poco M4 Pro had 2 major updates, and we're so happy to bring those to you. We understand display and camera are crucial in this day and age with so much digital content being created and consumed. So we upped those categories specifically, and other specs such as RAM and ROM technology. But to put it in simple words, today's Poco M4 Pro is currently the best display and camera smartphone in M series. Just remember this.
Tuh,
Now price.
layar dan
Let's go
kamera
straight into a
terbaik di
comparison.
antara M series yang ada.
When we put ourselves against some of the
Ya
mid-rangers
iyalah,
among the market,
orang series
and you
terbaru
can see
harusnya
in
lebih
many
baik sih
areas
dari
such
yang
as performance,
sebelum-sebelumnya.
battery, and camera, we're either
Oh,
better
ini
or we're
disejajarin
equal.
sama Samsung
Their
A52 ya.
cost is starting from 249 euros all the way to potentially 400 euros. For our Poco M4 Pro's base variant,
Siap-siap.
6GB plus 128GB
Ada geledek nggak
option,
nih?
we have an amazing price of 219 euros. Just a little bit over 200 euros for all those
Nggak ada
great
geledek.
specs. Really maximizing the value here. But of course, let's talk about the early bird. The early bird starts out at 199 euros, below 200 euros. Value maximized at its finest. Remember, AMOLED
199 euro
screen,
itu
64 megapixel,
3,2 ya,
great
bener nggak?
processor. And for the high variant,
Ingat
the
ya, ada
first
kemungkinan
time
bisa
ever,
lebih murah nih
8
saat udah
GB,
masuk ke Indonesia.
256GB option in M series,
Kemungkinan.
269 euros. 269 euros for its 8 GB plus
Mana
256GB
halilintarnya?
smartphone.
Kalau kayak gini gue jadi
That
tangan
alone
Koko
is
Alvin
pretty
yang
crazy.
presentasi nih, ada
For
halilintar
our early
nih.
bird, it gets even better. From 269 euros, our early bird price will be starting at 249 euros.
Gue kasih suara sendiri aja.
Now, let me repeat myself again. 249 euros for 8 GB, 256GB smartphone with AMOLED screen, 64 megapixel triple camera. That's maximum value. And when we come back to this comparison, you can
Ingetin
see the
gua
spec
ya,
difference and the price difference.
Next launching
I
kayak
believe
gini,
this chart speaks for
gue
itself.
siapin
And for
sound
those
effect
who are watching right
geledek
now,
yang
I'm certain you
dipakai
guys are
Koko Alvin.
waiting when I'm where to get this awesome
Gue
phone.
tambahin sendiri.
The Poco
biar
M4 Pro
satisfying
will
nih
be first
dengarnya.
available on these platforms also on March 2nd. Now, early bird pricing will be available based on different regions, so make sure to check it out. Of course, we have a lot more platforms coming. So make sure to follow our local regions' Poco accounts so you
Biasanya
don't miss out on this deal.
kapan Indonesia
It's very
keluar
important.
kurang lebih
Don't miss out.
1
It's a
sampai
crazy
2
deal.
bulan ya guys ya.
So this
Jadi
is our
kemungkinan
Poco
kalau nggak
M4 Pro
akhir
with a
Maret,
newly improved display and
ya
camera module.
April sih
It is
harusnya.
here to maximize your
Paling
fun.
telat.
Now, that's all the product I have for you today. But let's invite Kevin back on stage. He has a surprise for you guys all. I'll see you guys next time, though.
Bye-bye. Widih, mantep nih. Apa nih? Si Kevin
Thank you,
Chu ya?
Angus, for introducing to our awesome smartphones. Now, Angus has released the price for both devices. But as our first launch of 2022, and to thank you all for the support in 2021, we will be doing a limited offer
Wih.
on 2nd of March,
Lebih murah lagi
bringing
tuh.
an even more competitive price
Nah, ini
for
mungkin
you all.
harga ini bakal
With our X4
mendekati
Pro
harga
5G
Indonesia
starting
kayaknya.
at 249 euros, and a Poco M4 Pro starting
Tuh,
at
catat tuh, guys.
179 euros. Don't miss out on those deals. 2nd of March, mark your calendars. It's been an awesome first event of the year. It's going to be one very, very exciting year for us here at Poco. And I can promise you, same for our fans. We got a lot to show you this year, But for now, thank you all for joining us today. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you very soon. Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome to this year very first Poco launch event. My name is Kevin.
Oh, ini ulang lagi
I'm the
guys.
general
Udah,
manager
bubar,
of Poco
bubar, bubar.
Global. It's our first launch event of 2022.
Ini ulang lagi nggak sih?
And for those who are just joining us or don't know much about us, let's take a look at what happened in 2021 for Poco. In 2021, we were able to launch 6 devices
Oh
globally.
enggak deh,
With
sama ya.
this device,
Apa beda sih?
we
Gua
were able
jadi
to hit our
bingung.
highest shipment volume per year ever since we established the brand. Hitting more than 20 million smartphones shipped for us in one single year. And Poco X3 Pro alone has shipped more than 8 million units globally. It was crowned #1 mid-range for GSM
Ulang lagi ya ini ya. Udah guys,
2021
yuk.
smartphone list.
Terima kasih
In
yang sudah
2022,
nonton.
In our X series, we plan
Ada
to become
pesan-pesan,
even better
kesan-kesan yang
all-round
kalian
device.
tangkap dari sini.
Today, following up our already very successful smartphone, we plan to give you a successor, introducing our latest the
Udah. Oke guys, thank you banget nih yang udah nonton. Jangan lupa bantuin gue buat like live streaming ini ya, biar rame. Oke, yang belum, yuk like. Sampai ketemu di live. Oh ya, gue ada satu video menarik nih yang gue baru upload, yaitu gue unboxing Samsung S22 Ultra di dalam Apple Store guys. Serius, kalian mesti nonton. Serius nonton. Cek ya di video list gue. Kalau udah kalian bantuin gue buat like video itu karena itu video yang gue bikin dengan sungguh-sungguh nih guys. Oke? Thank you. Sebelum balik gue pengen denger ada siapa lagi nih di sini. Yuk kita sapa-sapa lagi guys. Oke, ada Saigon One udah nonton bang. Ada RHLHDY, ada Ahmad Fakih, ada Wahyu Agung Utomo, ada Yusran, ada Foxware, ada Dahlan, ada Yipi, ada Game Setting, Genta, Java, Aldi, Mantap, Setia, Angga, Saigowan, George, Afifi, Gabriel, M. Idris, Roy, Game Setting, Muhammad Irfan, Satria. Anya, JP Channel. Ini kayak tantangan sendiri buat gua nih. Leslie, Nuril, Muhammad Azrizal, Mantap Iki, Usman, GG Gaming, bagus. Yusran lu ngapain absen lagi tadi udah. Terus udah nih pada ngulang-ngulang semua. GG Channel, Dylan Kiss, Official, Jundan, Imam Santoso, Mahmudin, Silver Soul, Afifi, Agung, Denny, Afifi lagi, Dava, Muhammad Raihan Said, Ibnu, Lutfi, Satria Official lagi, Setia, Denny, Adia, Wildan. Oke guys, terima kasih banyak guys. Kayaknya nggak kelar-kelar kalau ini. Thank you banget yang udah nonton, yang udah like, yang udah donasi juga. Tapi kayaknya nggak ada ya. Oke, nggak apa-apa. Yang penting thank you. Jangan lupa nonton video gue ya, yang baru gue upload beberapa jam lalu. Oke, thank you. Sampai ketemu di live streaming selanjutnya ya. Thank you banget yang udah temenin gue. Bye-bye.